Good evening, Drew.
I just had a refreshing knockoff Capri Sun.
A knockoff Capri Sun. Okay.
Yeah. So okay.
Okay. I'm listening.
Yeah. So I really put a lot of thought into this because I wasn't sure how I was going to open with that. But if I told you I was a 42-year-old man who was drinking a Capri Sun, you probably would tell me that I'm an idiot.
I mean, I'm not gonna go out and buy a Capri Sun, but if I'm at some place and there's Capri Suns available and there's not children, I think I'm gonna drink one. They're good. They're juice. It's full of sugar. It's good. It's good.
It was great. So this is okay. So I don't go out of my way looking for food and beverages and snacks that are made for children, except for that one time you told me to order those fruit snacks.
The fruit snacks are good.
The fruit snacks are pretty good. Don't think I don't look at my Amazon history longingly that I want to order more of those.
Oh, sweetheart, we have those on subscribe and save, man. We just get a box every couple of months. It's wonderful.
Yeah, but listen, let's be real. You have children and I do not. So the only person
but Daddy eats plenty of those.
Yeah, but here's the thing though. In my house, I would be the only one that would be eating those. Just like I did with the whole last box of those things. No, so this is a Nature's Nectar is the name of the brand. Wild cherry, and then in what I can only describe as extremely large letters for what this should say, flavored juice drink from concentrate with other natural flavors. And it is not an inconspicuous thing. A lot of time manufacturers will go out of their way to sort of hide that fact. I think these people are leaning into it because it's prominently large, comically large on the top of this pouch. Yeah, I don't know when the last time I had a Capri Sun was. This is one of those things where somehow my wife ended up with this at school and brought it home.
Nice.
And it sat in my fridge, and I'm like, I'm going to save that for a special day when I need a late night sugary treat. And this was only 6 fluid ounces, but boy, it hit pretty different. And I'm still to this day just amazed, completely just amazed that I can stick a straw in a Capri Sun and the pouch doesn't burst. How does that even work?
Science.
Yes. Okay, so that reminds me, when I was in elementary school, did your school ever have milk in bags?
No, we had cartons.
We had cartons. Yeah. We had cartons up until I got to 4th grade, and then they started putting the milk in pouches.
And they looked that.
No. Yeah, well, I guess the best way I could describe it is if you would take a Capri Sun bag, I don't know, Capri Sun unit, and lay it on its side. And what you were supposed to do is you were supposed to take your pointed straw, which giving 4th graders sharp objects in lunch, right? Take your pointed straw, and with the milk bag laying sideways, you had to slice this thing in here. And I think it was one of those early, we're going to save the planet type things. I think Canada has had milk in bags forever.
Well, I was wondering if it was around that time where, I remember, you go to the grocery store and there was only paper bags. And then there was a marketing campaign saying, hey, we're killing the earth by using all this paper. How about this plastic?
And see, this is why I'm an internet professional, because I was about to open Google and type in milk bags, and I know what's going to happen if I type that. So I'm going to type milk in bags and search for that. Nope, it doesn't look like that. Let me see if I can find a picture of this. This is so weird because there was a 2 or 3 year period where this is what we had, and then all of a sudden it just sort of stopped. I guess it kind of looked like this. Let me drop a think bag milk is a weird thing. Think bag milk is weird. Think again. Is the name of this article. Yeah, I'm just going to drop this in show notes. It kind of looked like this, except our bags were thick boys. They weren't the long and skinny boys like this. They were thick boys, stout. They basically half the length of these things, but as wide, I guess. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what it looked like, except I don't remember there being a huge air bubble in there. It's if you laid it on its side, there was a bubble in there, and that's where you had to aim the straw. But you would put it in there, and then you would drink the milk, and it would shrivel up into a little plastic bag that probably still exists to this day, where cartons
probably. Oh.
I tell people that and they look at me like, well, did you go to school in Canada? And I'm like, no, I went to school in this like bumfuck part of southwestern Pennsylvania and we had it. Like, I just assumed if we had it, everybody had it. I don't know why. Like maybe we were like a weird scientific test thing.
Yeah. We just had cartons, but I am aware of the milk in a bag phenomena. So
yeah. Okay, so good segue into I have breaking news about my favorite place to get ice cream.
Okay.
I think I have said on this podcast and have been disagreed with by anybody who will listen to it that I do not have ice cream when I do this, but I'm still going to call it ice cream because it is ice cream adjacent. The place I go to get my mango sorbet has done their official summer rotation, and they have this cherry sorbet, Paul, that is just phenomenal. I don't typically eat treats during the week, but I had a particularly rough day Tuesday. It was like 8:00 at Tuesday night. And I was just like, man, maybe some ice cream would make me feel better. Like I live like a mile down the road from this place. So I hopped in my car, drove down there, went through the drive-thru, got the cherry sorbet ice cream cone, came home and felt pretty good about myself for a little while. And then I felt bad. And then I felt bad again because I was like, why am I having ice cream at 8:00 on a Tuesday?
Well, good news, Drew. You weren't having ice cream on 8:00 on a Tuesday.
Okay.
You were having sorbet.
Okay, fair enough. But if you live in the greater metropolitan Columbus area, you owe it to yourself to head to this place. They don't sponsor our podcast. Nobody sponsors our podcast because no one listens to our podcast. But go to this ice cream shop. It's named Dell's. It's across the river from the zoo. This I'm telling you, man, like the mango's good. Like I like the mango, and I think back in the fall they had like a sour apple one that was good. Like it was just different because like I'm a sucker for the mango. I went for the sour apple and it was okay, but I saw that they had the cherry and it's more of a black cherry than a cherry, and my God, it's so different. Anyway, all right, let's talk about other cool stuff. So I have so many thoughts about what you're about to talk about.
I purchased and used a electric lawnmower. I put the link in the show notes for what I bought. This particular model had three things I was looking for. One, I wanted something self-propelled. Two, more than three technically. Something self-propelled, something that did cross-cut, something that would last long enough to mow my lawn without having to stop and recharge, and something that I could get quickly. So I got a Ryobi. Have you used an electric lawnmower, Drew?
No, and I'm gonna tell you why after you're done. But go ahead.
Okay. So first of all, like the actual like mowing part, it did a great job. My lawn looks wonderful. The cross cut, it cut everything up into little itty bitty pieces. It was great. It was wonderful. All the problems with the lawnmower, Drew, I think are my problems.
Okay. All right. Well, let's talk it out.
Okay. So the mower has I guess technically four controls. There's a button to start it. There's a little slidey thing that controls how fast the self-propelled goes. There's a lever to make it self-propelled, and then there's like the safety mechanism of the levers you have to hold to keep the mower running. You let go of these things, the mower stops.
Yep.
So I fire this bad boy up, and I'm mowing, and I just can't. I keep stalling this thing, Drew. I keep stalling it over, or it keeps stalling.
Yeah, I don't think you can stall something with an electric motor.
But it keeps stopping. The motor keeps stopping. Okay, it keeps stopping. I'm like, what the hell is going on? And then I realized that I have developed certain habits with my old lawnmower. I sometimes suffer from repetitive stress injuries. I have what I like to call weak fingers.
Okay.
From carpal tunnel, and I paid attention as I was mowing, especially like after a turn. I'm constantly readjusting my grip on the mower.
Ah.
And with my old mower, my old gasoline powered motor, I was able to do that and keep the engine running, where I keep that is not the case with this new electric mower.
Well, I'm looking at it. I'm
Mhm.
looking at it, right? And
It's
the way
it's green.
it's green. Yeah, Ryobi. That's their thing.
Yep.
So I'm looking at it, right? And I'm looking at the handle, which was like probably the closest human interface device that this thing has.
Yes.
And on the handle, I can clearly see that inlaid into the handle there are two green, because
Yes,
Ryobi,
those
two
are the
green
levers.
handles. So you're telling me that in order to make this thing go, you have to hold down both of those?
No, just one. Just one
Oh.
has to be pulled down.
Okay.
But the way I would shimmy would I be like do each hand at a time, and there is a brief period of time where like there's just enough slack in both of them that it would turn off. So yeah.
Okay.
That's a me problem. I'm working on learning how to hold my mower correctly. But I was very upset at the beginning as I'm like, God, why does this thing keep like stopping? And then about halfway through, I'm like, oh, I'm the reason it keeps stopping.
Yeah, the weak fleshy human is the weak part of this.
Yes, the weak fleshy human. It's funny how much it sounds like a really big RC car.
Really? Okay. So,
yeah.
Well, it's interesting because my neighbor, for reasons that I'll let you finish your thing right now.
No.
My neighbor was out cutting his grass the other day, as he does, and I know that he has an electric mower. And when he's pushing his mower around, it sounds like a regular lawnmower.
So, I mean, you still get the hum of like the blade going, but like, I think it's the motors that run the wheels, the self-propelled part of it, the propelled part. Those things sound like a big RC car, because really that's what it is, right? It's
big brushless motor.
Big brushless motor, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, okay, so what other problems do you have with it?
That was I haven't quite figured out my my old, gasoline power motor, the self-propelled, had one speed. One, you pushed it, it went at a certain speed. This new one is a variable speed self-propelled mower, and I have yet quite I always feel like I'm either going too slow or the mower is going to shoot out of my hands and kill somebody.
So is the handle, but like, so I'm looking at the place where you grasp it to make it go. Is that green lever sort of underneath that, the throttle control?
That is no. The throttle control is like on the back, like close to like where your thumbs would be.
Okay.
That little green flappy thing is for folding it up, bringing the thing down, and it folds up real nice.
Is it heavy?
Not without the batteries. No, not at all. Ridiculously light. Yeah. All of the weight is in the gigantic batteries you put in this thing.
Now it's okay, so let's talk about the batteries here, because I think this is probably the most crucial part of the discussion. So this comes with two batteries, and you put both batteries in at once.
Yes.
So I was talking to my neighbor, right? And now I'm going to tell you about the reason I don't own one. So I think my yard is just big enough that most, probably not all, but most electric mowers would not last one mow session of my yard. So I would probably need two sets of batteries.
So I agree. I did some research on this whole thing, and a lot of them say like, hey, we'll last for like an hour. But like, if you watch YouTube videos, most people are like, it's kind of like 45, 50 minutes there, buddy.
I think if you were to read the fine print, it's probably an hour if you're not using the self-propelled.
Or I think it depends. I think like Ryobi advertises an hour with the self-propelled.
Okay.
But I think that's like perfect conditions.
Oh.
Where like you're just going back, like you have a long, narrow, straight, no hills, nothing to go around. It's the ideal mowing experience. That's just not the case.
And listen, I am a fan of electric devices because on the scale of maintenance, there's not a lot that can go wrong with this thing. I mean, if you have a motor go bad, I'm assuming that the service of this is you literally just pull the other motor out and you put the other one back in. Like you don't necessarily have like the small engine repair and gas storage, which I'll talk about in a minute. Of
don't
my
worry
mower.
about that. There's no oil changes. There's none of that. You just really at this point, it's going to be keeping the blade sharp. And
is it weird that your lawnmower has a headlight?
I don't know why I need a headlight, but I have a headlight now on my mower. When I mowed it, I used about 1.5 batteries for my yard, which I think is pretty good. If I do have one complaint, Drew, for various reasons, I did not have a free outlet in my garage when I went to charge these batteries, so I brought it into the house.
Yep.
Which is fine. Like, okay, no big deal.
Oh, I know what you're gonna say. Go ahead.
The charger, it has a fan, Drew.
A fan. Yep. That's a thing that I've noticed. Like the last couple drills that I've bought, like cordless drills, have had chargers with fans. I guess the way we juice these boys requires some active cooling.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So now I need to like reorganize some stuff in the garage so I don't have to hear that. Because I mean, these are big chunky batteries and they take a while to charge up.
They look pretty massive.
They're heavy and they're heavier than you expect them to be. Even if you know they're heavy, they're surprisingly heavy.
Well, they're 6 amp hours, right?
Yes.
Like not 6 milliamp hours, not 600 milliamp hours, 6 amp hours.
Yes. Yeah.
Whoa.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, those are chunky boys, and boy, you crack one of those open, you're gonna give yourself a nice roasty fire. Okay.
Yeah.
Now I gotta tell you, I think this looks like a wonderful mower. I would say that compared to sort of what I rock a Honda mower in my garage. That is gas powered. I think
that's what this is replacing.
Yep. Yeah, I think this looks like a great mower. I think the only thing that you might have fucked up on is why the crosscut.
Because if on the occasions where I do decide to mulch and not bag, I like the little pieces.
Well, I don't have crosscut, and I don't bag, and mine. And unless. And this is a big unless I miss a week of mowing, my deck can be one notch below like the medium setting. I don't know what the depth of that is, but like my mower has like 5 depth settings with intermediate steps in between. So I guess technically it's 10. I can put mine one step below mid, and that keeps my grass relatively short, not obscenely so, because I like a nice lush grass. And it chops it up pretty fine. Now, the only time I get clumping is if my yard is wet, or if I'm not very studious about mowing every week.
Yeah, I just like my Honda pieces. I like the little pieces. But now you have 2 blades you have to keep sharp. Yes, but I don't sharpen them myself.
Yeah, true. So do you normally mulch or bag?
It depends. So usually what I end up doing is like the very front part of my yard, I'll usually end up bagging that for two reasons. One, I want it to look nice, presentable, and 2, that part of my yard grows faster than the rest of it. It just does. It's always a little bit longer than the rest of the yard. So I always just kind of usually, not all the time, but my default mode for that is kind of bag in the front and then just mulch in the back.
Well, if you were to mulch on the front, what are you concerned about the small pieces in the yard?
I don't know. It's just what I've always done, Drew. I really haven't given much thought.
I'm not trying to yuck your yum, buddy. I mean,
yeah.
It just seems like for me, right? Like I remember when I first moved into this house, I'm like, I'm gonna put the bag on this mower because I paid for it and I want to try the bag out. And I think I made it like a corner of my yard before it needed emptied. Like the bag, and it's a pretty decent sized bag. It's just that the yard I have is like ruthless.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, this looks really nice. This looks like a really nice mower.
Oh,
Now, okay.
all the problems with it are me. I'm the problems with
now,
it.
okay. So I would like to remind you,
Mm-hmm.
much like I reminded myself when we're going to talk about some of the things that I bought, that now you have not necessarily just bought a mower, Paul. You know what you bought.
I've I've made my first purchase into a lifestyle.
You have purchased a lifestyle. So I guess the question is, what else can these batteries power in the Ryobi line?
Oh, everything. You can get blowers, you can get trimmers.
I'm looking at that.
Like hedge trimmers. I think there's even a chainsaw. Now the thing is, I like to remind you that these batteries are heavy.
Yeah.
Even one of them are heavy. I'm not sure I'd want it on the end of a chainsaw, but that's just me. I have not bought any accoutrements for it yet. I
don't think it goes in the end of the chainsaw. It probably goes in the body of the chainsaw.
It does for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, now, right, you've sort of opened yourself up, and like, because you already have the means of locomotion.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yep.
It's just, having an extra battery too probably wouldn't hurt, but I'm seeing that there are trimmers, hedge trimmers, blowers. I mean, blowers are great.
Yep.
Yeah. No, this looks really good, man. Like, if you were going to buy something else though, what do you think you'd buy and stick one of these batteries in?
The biggest need I have is the blower I have is corded at the moment.
Yeah.
I don't like that at all.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking at this, and it's for $300 you get the blower and 2 more batteries.
There you go. Not that I don't think I need 2 more batteries, but yeah.
I guess it depends on how fast this thing juices it. I don't know.
I can't imagine it would. I can't imagine it would use. And then again, it's probably the motor's probably honestly pretty damn close. But
well, okay.
Yeah,
so
that is a nice looking blower.
It is a nice looking blower. It's green. It's very green. I'm an orange boy. Okay, I'm not a green boy. I'm an orange boy. So I bought a couple of tools for my yard recently too. So I've talked about this before in other podcasts. Go find it. But I've bought Stihl products, STIHL. And right now I own a weed whacker / I guess technically you're supposed to call that a trimmer.
Yep.
Like a cable trimmer, I guess. And I own a chainsaw, like a small chainsaw. And those are both battery operated. Now that we're into, I mean, in name, we're in spring, but I mean, the fact that it sleeted this past weekend. Yeah. So we're in spring, and I busted everything out. One of the things that I did not do last year is I needed to edge all of my mulch beds and flower beds. And I needed to also edge like my driveway and my walkway up to the front of my house. I did not have a tool to do that. It was on my list of things to buy last year, and I didn't. So one of the things I wanted to buy is I wanted to buy an edger. Now, Stihl, right? Because I'm in this Stihl lifestyle, right? Because I have 2 things right now that share batteries, and both things that I have bought have come with batteries. And again, when you buy these Stihl tools, number one, you have to go through an authorized dealer to get them, which sort of limits the places I can buy these things. And secondly, the edger is actually pretty expensive for what it is. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, like some of these edgers that are like all-in-one that are batteries, like the curve shaft battery powered edger. That's like $370 for an edger, and I'm pretty sure that comes with a battery. And that's not even like that's like the entry level one.
Right.
So I thought to myself, well, what if I could buy a tool, and Stihl makes a line of tools that they call their combi motors. And these combi motors are basically like a power unit, right? Either gas or electric, that has like a drive shaft that comes off of it. And then you can buy different attachments. So for instance, I could buy an edger tool that sort of clamps onto this thing, and the transfer case like plugs into this pole, and then it like rotates the tool on the other end. So you can buy like an edger, you can buy a bed redefiner, you could buy a head trimmer, you could buy a yard boss copyright, you could buy a pole pruner. Like, first of all, some of these names, somebody's having a lot of fun. Like there's pole pruner. Hold on, there's more. What was the other one I was looking at? Shaft extension. Like
they knew
they know what they're doing. And they make all these different attachments for it. So I thought to myself, well, what if you got one of these combi tools or combi motors, and then you bought like an edger attachment? Like, you'd roughly be paying about the same, because it looks like you can buy these without the battery, and I'd be in for about the same. And then I could buy other sort of attachments, like they make like a blower attachment for this. But come to find out, and then this is the unfortunate thing about Stihl, is when you get to these combi motors, they are horsepower rated, first of all. So like, for instance, there are multiple model numbers that like they start with KM, but then they end with a number, either an R or an E. And the E's are, of course, electric, and the R's are the gas powered ones. Well, some of these attachments require a certain horsepower level.
Oh.
Yeah, so like the bed redefiner seems to be the one that requires the most juice, because you're literally cutting deep into soil with it. So it even says like, hey, if you want this bed redefiner, like you either need this model of the R minimum or this model of the E minimum. And I don't want to limit myself, right? I want to set myself up to live this lifestyle and live, and be able to expand my horizons and then use these cool attachments. But the combi motors take the commercial batteries, not the batteries that I already have. So like they are.
That's how they get you.
That's how they get you. They're a bigger, deeper battery, and I didn't know that. And when I first started looking at these things, like all the ones I looked at, like all the batteries look like they were the same shape, and like I didn't know any better. So if I could go back in time, I'd probably tell past Drew not to freak out that future Drew is here, and then buy this other battery model series instead. So I ended up buying one of the. I think I got the KM91. No, I got the KM91, and it is gas operated, and it takes like that mixture. So like it's like the 50-to-1 mix, and like
that's a pain in the butt, 'cause that's a whole nother gas can that you have to keep track of.
It could be, but still
you mix it right in there.
Well, no, still sells little quarts of the premix. And if you buy that, when you buy your Stihl, you get double the warranty.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that was my big thing. And then like I spent like all weekend in my yard. I was trimming a bunch of trees with my little chainsaw. That's so much fun. And then edging beds and everything. I'm like, I got a guy coming to give me a quote on some mulch. I got a mulch guy. Because like I'm fine mowing my yard and edging the beds and like pruning stuff and weeding and doing all that stuff, but like it would probably take, hold on, let me see if I have the quote. I think he did send me the quote right before this. Like, how much mulch was it actually going to take for my yard? Let's see here. Okay, here's the quote. Nope, that's a logo. Where's the quote? Where the fuck is the quote? What did you do? Why is this so hard? Okay, there it is. Let's see here. One-time application of organic mulch. Up to 2 inches of new mulch will be laid to maintain a desired bed depth of 2 to 3 inches. Does it not give me? It doesn't give me a quantity, but like it's going to be a lot. Like I could tell you the number. I could tell you the quote. Like it's going to be like $1,500.
That's a lot of mulch.
It's a lot of fucking mulch. I mean, and have someone come and spread it. And like, even if they came and like dumped all of the bags in my driveway or dumped a pile of mulch in my driveway, do you know how long it would take me to do it all?
Oh, a lot. Yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy. So I'm probably gonna pay someone to do this. Like I'm kind of in the quote phase right now. But I played with my combi motor all weekend, and it's pretty cool. Like there's all kinds of attachments. I'm gonna get the blower next. I bought the lawn edger. I'm gonna buy the blower next. The power sweep removes caked dirt, pebbles, and even water from your path.
Ooh.
Oh, I really want the other one I want is the pole pruner. So getting like high up tree branches from some of my trees in my yard. I mean, the possibilities are endless here. They know what they're doing.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
They know what they're doing. So yeah, that was the thing that I bought. I can't recommend this brand enough. Like, I mean, it's kind of hard to find. Like, you have to go and do your research about where you can actually buy these things. But I've been pretty pleased with it. I'm definitely on the still train right now. They make really good stuff, so go check that out. I'm glad you're happy with your mower though.
Yeah, so far so good.
Yeah.
Good news. I get to go out and mow again this weekend. So
I mean, I mow every weekend, and I have to finish trimming one of my trees because I have like these big pine trees in my backyard, and when we moved in, like they're kind of like some of the lower limbs are touching the ground, you know. So like I'm going in there and cleaning up those low trees, and like I probably like hauled a couple 100 pounds of limbs to like the curb, and then I'd call the chipper service and have them come and do it, and they're gonna have to come do it again. So yeah, that's gonna be my weekend. But you get to play with your new toy. It's pretty fun.
yeah,
It's pretty fun. Yeah, and now one last question. Do you hang the lawnmower up on the wall?
I do not.
Okay. I feel like
do
it's light
not.
enough you probably could, right?
Without the batteries in it, I definitely think it could hang on the. Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Cool.
Yep.
All right. I tweeted this the other day because I like most things these days. I'm very, very late to the party. But I want to talk about the show on Apple TV called Severance.
Yes. Now, I assumed you started watching this.
I did. I binged the first 5 episodes last night.
Okay, so you are. I've only watched 3 episodes. I watched the 3rd one today.
So before we talk about the show, right, I want to talk about how out of touch I am. When I heard that there was a show called Severance, I thought, oh, they're talking about the Great Recession and people hate their jobs and they want to leave. And I just thought it was going to be some comedy because it's got Adam Scott from Parks and Rec in it. It's going to be a funny thing. I couldn't have been more wrong.
Oh, it's not a comedy for starters.
It's a dark comedy. There are funny parts.
You're right. Yeah.
There are some genuine parts that make me laugh, but it is what would you call it? I don't even know what you would call this.
I mean, I guess it's
sci-fi suspense.
Suspense. Like I think there's a mystery at the heart of all of this. And that's the point, is to unravel at least part of the mystery in this first season.
Yeah, so I don't necessarily know if we need the spoiler warning for what we're going to talk about.
Let's keep it spoiler free.
Okay, keep it spoiler free.
Or very like minimal spoilers. Like I think it's fine to explain the general concept of the show, or maybe we shouldn't even do that because it takes like. It's not to like 15 minutes in where you like understand what's going on.
Yeah, let's not even do that. Let's not even do that. But let's talk about what we like about it. So let's just talk about what we like about it for now.
So far, granted, I'm only 3 episodes in. It's got this the pacing, I think, is delightful.
Yes,
because it introduces something strange, and then it explains that strangeness, and then you think like, okay, I got this. I got it. I'm on board. I figured this all out. And then it introduces something stranger, and then it explains that, and you're like, okay, we got it. I think I'm good. I figured this whole thing out. And then it does something even stranger, and they haven't quite explained that part of it to me yet. But yeah,
so the weirdness and creepiness factor. I'm just gonna tell you right now. I just watched episode 5, and I'm just as bewildered as ever. I'll tell you what does it for me. Watching this show, do you know this has big control energy?
Oh yeah, mm-hmm.
Like the style of the architecture in like the building that is not the part that they work in. Let's just put it that way. Yeah. Versus the part that they do work in, like it's got like this weird aesthetic to it that screams like 1970s, but yet with modern touches.
Yeah.
And it just, I'm a complete sucker for that. Because like when I went to the University of Pittsburgh, like there were several buildings, like the engineering buildings, that basically had that aesthetic, and they never updated it. Like orange carpet and green furniture, right? Like
right.
Very, very late 70s like energy. And there's a lot of that here, and the cinematography and like the characters I think are very cool.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm in. Like, I'm completely in. And I think I'm going to go watch another episode when we're done recording here today. But
good for you.
But I cannot recommend it enough. And it was one of those things where it was like, again, I heard everybody talking about it, right? I heard people like tweeting about, or not heard, I heard people tweeting about it. I saw people tweeting about it, like, God damn it, Severance. And I'm just like, oh, maybe the guy quit his job and his wife left him, because that's what that show has to be about. And God damn, it's not. So not. Oh man, I have not watched another show on Apple TV since Ted Lasso.
I haven't either, really. No.
Yeah. I don't know if I can say this is as good as Ted Lasso. Different.
I mean, it's different, but it's good. It's good. Like, after the first episode, I was like, because like, okay, for those of you watching, the first episode is uncomfortable.
Oh no, it gets worse.
Okay, but like, so like, first I'm like, is this gonna be for me?
Yeah.
But okay, watch the episode and watch the first 15 minutes of episode 2, and if you're not hooked,
don't watch.
Just stop. For me, the first 15 minutes of episode 2 was just like, yeah.
Yep. And like, the more that they sort of learn about their circumstances, the crazier it gets.
Yeah.
Like I said, episode 5 was just a complete doozy.
Maybe after we both finish, we'll have a spoiler.
I absolutely think that we should, and I'm assuming they're making a season 2 of this. There's 9 episodes. There's 9 episodes, by the way. They have to be making a season 2, right?
Let's find out. Will there be a season 2? Yes.
Everything we know about Severance season 2.
Yeah, there will be a season 2.
Do we know when?
It got announced in April, so it's probably going to be at least a year.
2023. I mean, we're still waiting for the next round of Ted Lasso.
Yeah.
Oh, but it's so good though, man. It's so good. Did you? Okay, again, this isn't a spoiler, but did you see the episode with the paper cutter?
No.
Okay. All right.
No. My episode pretty much ends with him. How can I say this in a way? Replacing the photos in the frames.
Yes. Okay. Then I think the next episode has what I just referred to.
Yeah. And then the ambulance is at the end. Yeah.
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 My God. And like, first of all, and I don't say this to be mean because I'm no looker, but what happened to Adam Scott? Like, what's wrong with his face? Is it me?
I mean, like, he's never been a pretty man.
He was adorable in Parks and Rec.
Do I disagree?
Okay, well,
I disagree. That's just me.
There's just something going on with his face in this, and I love the chick that plays Helly.
Mm-hmm.
John Turturro, such a fucking weirdo in this show. There's also like Patricia Arquette's in it, and like, this isn't a spoiler because it's in the trailer, but like, there is a character that is played by Christopher Walken.
Yes. Yeah.
And oh my goodness, he's becoming one of my favorites. I don't think he's been featured enough in the episodes that you've watched so far.
He's only showed up twice. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And then like the weird brother, I guess it's his brother-in-law.
Yeah. Who played? He was the brother in Sad Spice Patriot.
Yeah. Yeah, I forgot about that show. I gotta go back and watch that.
I rewatched it recently. It's still so much better on a rewatch when you're picking up all the stuff.
Oh man, I can't wait.
It's good.
Good. Every once in a while I think about Patriot. That show, we talked about that a while ago. That's worth a rewatch.
It's good.
But check out, if you have access to Apple TV, you should definitely check out Severance. If you're a fan of sci-fi and like mystery sci-fi, almost psychological thriller, just because of the way that it works. Man, it's just wacky. It's wacky. Did you see the episode where they go to the museum?
Oh, yes, that
How
was
creepy! How creepy is that?
that was this episode 3. Yes, yes,
Oh my god, so
yes.
good, so good. And like the creepy security guard, oh, man. I just
Hmm.
I want to say so much more, but you're right, right. Let's finish it. I'm assuming that we'll. I mean, I know that I'll finish it because I've only got like 3 or 4 episodes left.
I will do my best. Uh I'm also starting a rewatch of Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Oh dear, what is that on?
It's on my Plex, Drew.
Oh, okay.
I've oh Buffy, where
Oh,
to
thank you for reminding me. I meant to put this on the show doc.
You have to be careful where you stream it because sometimes they have the the quote unquote HD remaster, which is awful.
Why?
Awful. It's awful.
You've mentioned this before. Why is it bad?
Okay, so the HD remaster. So the show was not filmed on film. It was shot for 4:3 low def television.
Okay.
So what they're doing is they're picking parts, they're cropping it, and they're upscaling. Except for I guess it was shot a little wider and they cut it down, but so they went back to the original. It does the typical the Simpsons thing where they cut out the jokes. There's important things that will be cut out of frame. Their framing is weird. Sometimes the framing will include things like crew members, and the special effects. The special effects were made on a budget for low definition television, so it looks really bad.
like the actors and actresses look bad.
No, like the special effects.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, like the magic spells.
Yes, exactly.
Got it.
I don't know who it's on Hulu. I don't know which version it is. I'd have to start playing to see what's going on. But
so do you actually own like all the DVDs?
Absolutely. Yes. Okay. I own all of Buffy and Angel on DVD.
You haven't talked much about Angel.
This is going to be my second time rewatching it, where I'm going to watch the Buffy's and Angel in broadcast order. So I'm going to go back and forth.
Wait a minute. Okay, hold on. Stop. Mm-hmm. I'm intrigued. You got me. Okay, I'll bite. So hold on. So if I understand the Buffyverse, and I'm not going to pretend that I do, Buffy was a character. I'm sorry, Angel was a character that spun out of Buffy, right?
Yes.
And he's like the bad boy.
He was the love interest / big bad of season 3.
Okay. And everybody was like, man, he's cute. He should get his own show.
Yes. David, whatever his name is. Yeah, the guy who played Angel spun off. Charisma Carpenter, who played Cordelia, she also went to the show. And after Buffy ended, James, the guy who played Spike, also went to Angel. Angel went on after Buffy ended for a few seasons. I don't think it's as good as, it's a different show than Buffy. It's a different show.
Does it pander to a different audience, let's say?
I mean, it's still like the campy monster of the week based, mock like fake horror, like light horror kind of show. But it's just okay. I mean, it's not as good. It's not Buffy. Okay,
but a couple more questions. So Angel, the character shows up in season 3 of Buffy.
Well, he's in season 1 of Buffy.
Okay.
Season 1, season 2. He's introduced in season 1, becomes like a love interest in season 2. Wait, no, hold on. Am I
Uh-oh.
Hold on.
Uh-oh.
Buffy.
Guess who I can't take the Buffy trivia night?
Oh, fuck. Is he the big bad of season? He leaves after season 3.
After season 3, he gets his own show, right?
Exactly.
Now, did they do any sort of weird crossovers? Like every once in a while he'd show up, or Buffy would show up in his show. Okay.
Absolutely. Okay, I take that back. He is the love interest and big bad of season 2.
Okay.
Yes.
Got it.
He leaves after season 3.
Okay. Got it. And was it one of those things where like they were on the same night, like you would watch Buffy and then Angel? Was it on different times? Like
They were on different nights. Yeah.
so, but was there storylines that carried between the shows, so you'd have to watch both to really understand what was going on?
No, not at all. There was like a handful of crossover episodes just to try to like get people in there, but you didn't have to watch them to really deal with it. And then there's also like there was like a little bit of spillover. Like if you watch Buffy, you know that season 7 ends very spectacularly. And some of those impacts kind of fall into the rest of the Angel stuff, but yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then there's all the comics that if you want to read after that. They did all the way to season 12 in comics of Buffy, so read those. They're good.
But Buffy, okay, man, god damn it. But Buffy existed as something else before the TV show, right? It was a movie.
There was a movie.
But we don't talk about that?
We don't talk about the movie.
Okay, we don't talk about the movie, but was there books or comics before that?
No. There is, if you're hold on. If okay, so let's just put a pin in this right now.
Okay.
Yes, Josh Whedon is problematic. We all agree Josh Whedon is problematic. He's a very brilliant artist, but a horrible human being. There we go. Okay.
Well said.
So he wrote the Buffy movie, sold it, and then the studio basically was like, we want to change this and make it more comedic and more. He kind of lost control of it. So the movie isn't exactly his vision of what it wanted to be. If you want to get Josh Whedon's vision of what the movie should have been, you can read the comics, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, The Origin. He had worked with Dark Horse Comic, and he made a comic that was basically his vision of what the movie would be, and is accepted as canon of what happened before season 1 of Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Okay.
I'm a nerd.
No, you're not. You're not. Well, you are. All right. Well, that kind of tees us up for the final topic of the night. Mm-hmm. You have a recommendation.
I do. So I know you've been looking for some comic books, and I do know you like the Batman.
I want to like the Batman.
Okay. So I'm going to recommend to you something that is called the Murphyverse.
Okay, I'm clicking on I was waiting to click on the link, and I'm clicking on the link now.
Okay. So the comics are the writer is a guy named Sean Murphy. It is so the first series wasn't, but like all the subsequent ones are officially on DC Black Label, right? So these are not canon, right?
Okay, not canon.
Not canon. But what it does do is it kind of reimagines, not even so much reimagines, but kind of like really takes different looks into some characters really, really hard. There are 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so there's essentially 3 series, and the 4th one just started in March and is going on right now. Okay, so the first one is Batman White Knight.
All right.
It tells the Batman White Knight focuses primarily on the Joker. It's a very interesting take on Joker and his psychosis and his relationship with Batman and the links to what he would go to beat Batman, and even some of like what was Joker like before he was the Joker. 8 issues, really, really, really good. Then there's Batman Curse of the White Knight. It takes a very interesting look at the origins of the Wayne family.
All right.
And then there is this, there's Batman White Knight Presents. There's 1 issues of Von Freeze where it kind of delves into in Curse of the White Knight, Mr. Freeze, Victor Von Freeze gets some character fleshed out. Batman White Knight Presents Von Freeze is kind of a exploration of his past. Then there's 6 issues of White Knight Presents Harley Quinn. During the events of White Knight and Curse of Harley Quinn, Bruce Wayne and Harley develop a very interesting relationship, and this kind of focuses on what happens to Harley after that. I don't want to spoil because something really, really big happens at the end of Curse of the White Knight. And then Batman Beyond the White Knight is after all of that. And I don't know if you ever watched the cartoon Batman Beyond.
No.
Which was kind of like cyberpunk Batman. It was like Batman is now old. Now there's a new, younger, hotter.
Oh, wait a
Batman.
minute. Yeah, I think I might have seen a few episodes of that accidentally.
Okay. It's really good. I loved Batman Beyond. It's still, I highly recommend it even to this day. Batman Beyond the White Knight is kind of a reimagining of that origin. There's a new, younger, hotter Batman.
Okay, so
anywho, they're really good. Especially like the first 3, or even like the first 3 sets have been out for a while. Though actually no, the Harley Quinn stuff just wrapped up at the end of March. So that you might not be able to get that in a big bundle, but Batman White Knight and Curse of the White Knight, you probably definitely can.
So, okay. So hang on a second. So I'm looking at this, right? And again, this is one of the big problems I have with trying to read these things. So I went to Amazon. Not saying I'm buying this from Amazon, right? I went to Amazon. I went to Batman White Knight Deluxe Edition, hardcover, $30. And I'm reading the description. It says, this deluxe hardcover edition collects all 8 issues. Mm-hmm. So I'm assuming that the deluxe edition is going to have all 8 of this.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
So I will be able to read all 8 of these without having to buy 8 individual things. Great. Yes. Sold.
Yep.
Now I'm looking at Batman White Knight Presents Harley Quinn. Let's see here. This volume collects all 6 issues of the original series.
Okay, there you go. All 6.
As well as an in-world bonus story originally published as part of the hit digital series Harley Quinn Black and White and Red. So I could get... Okay, do I have to read these in order, though? Can I read...
You do. You definitely have to read these in order.
So I have to read White Knight and then Curse of the White Knight.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. Yes.
And then Von Freeze and then Harley Quinn.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm in. First of all, thank you. I'm always looking for interesting stuff to read. But again, what I find fascinating about this is you say it's not canon. So these are just like, they're retellings, but told a different way, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. It's the same characters, right? But like there's subtle little differences. Like they can just absolutely break from the... you can read this right in the blurb of Batman White Knight. Essentially, the Joker, like the premise is Joker gets better.
Oh, good for him.
And becomes a politician.
Okay. Better.
But ... There you go. There's the story.
That's the hook. I'm in. So maybe I'll take a ride to Laughing Ogre tomorrow and see what I can score.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, Thank you. I am going to try to get this and read this.
Yeah. And the artwork is really good.
I like.
The writing,
I'm looking at a preview. I kind of like that style.
Yeah.
The Harley Quinn one looks interesting.
Yeah. Definitely read them in order.
Okay.
Definitely read them in order. Just like in the White Knight Presents Harley Quinn, there is very little Batman in it.
Okay.
It's Harley Quinn is the main character in that story, in those stories.
I like her.
Yeah, things happen. Things happen. It's good. I highly recommend them. As soon as I started reading them, I devoured them. They're great, and I'm looking forward to Beyond. What is it? Beyond the White Knight. Because I like Batman Beyond, and hopefully it's also really good. And I guess they're going to do more. They're going to do like a Red Hood.
Yeah, I'm looking at the Wikipedia page you sent me, and it looks like that Red Hood. There's only going to be 2 issues upcoming in 2022, and Justice League, TBD, is in development, and then Nightwing and Batgirl, TBD, unproduced. Interesting. Oh, Curse of the White Knight has Batman 1 through 8 and Batman White Knight Presents Vaughn free. So I could get the White Knight Deluxe, Curse of the White Knight Collected Edition hardcover, and then Harley Quinn. So I could get all 3 of these things.
There you go.
Oh, look, there's ISBN numbers. That means something.
There
all right.
You go.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm in.
Yep.
You've given me a wonderful gift. You've given me
Awesome.
a wonderful gift here. All right, let's wrap this up.
Yep. As always, hey, we're on the internet, doingtheirbest.com, at doingbestpod on the Twitters. I'm on Twitter at Paul Baylor. And where can we find you, Drew?
Yeah, I'm on Twitter at Pittfurg, PATTFURG. I've been doing a little more streaming recently just because I've had like some gumption and some time and playing some things that I find interesting. So you can find me over on twitch.tv/Pittfurg, PATTFURG as well.
Awesome. Thanks for listening, everybody.